My father was a doll maker who could bring his creations to life. Before he died, he made me a special doll that looked exactly like me. "This will protect you," he said. But last night, I woke up to find the doll sewing another doll that looked exactly like my mother, and it whispered, "The family must be complete." The funeral was a quiet affair. Just me, the priest, and the 37 dolls my father had placed around the cemetery, each one positioned as if watching the ceremony with glassy, unblinking eyes. My father, Elias Vance, wasn't just a doll maker. He was an artist, a magician, some sort of warlock. His dolls were so lifelike, people claimed they could blink, breathe, even speak when no one was looking. I grew up surrounded by them, these silent porcelain children that filled our Victorian home from attic to cellar. The lawyer read the will in our parlor, surrounded by dolls seated on every available surface. "To my daughter Eleanor, I leave the house and everything in it," he said, adjusting his glasses. "And one final instruction, you must care for Amelia. She will care for you in return." "Amelia?" I asked, confused. The lawyer pointed to a doll seated in my father's favorite armchair. A doll that looked exactly like me, down to the small scar above my left eyebrow from when I fell out of the oak tree at 7 years old. I felt a chill. "When did he make that?" "The night he died," the lawyer said, avoiding my eyes. That first night alone in the house, I placed Amelia on the mantelpiece, facing away from me. There was something unsettling about her perfect replica of my face, the way her glass eyes seemed to follow my movements. I was woken at 3:33 a.m. by the sound of sewing. A slow, methodical rip, dot, dot, stitch, dot, dot, rip, dot, dot, stitch. I followed the sound to my mother's old sewing room. The door was slightly ajar. Amelia sat at the sewing machine, her tiny porcelain hands moving with impossible dexterity. She wasn't sewing fabric. She was sewing what looked like human skin, pale and fleshy. And taking shape under her needle was a doll that looked exactly like my mother, who had died giving birth to me. I screamed and stumbled back. Amelia's head turned a full 180 degrees, her painted smile never wavering. "The family must be complete," she whispered in a voice like breaking glass. I grabbed Amelia, intending to throw her in the fireplace. But the moment I touched her, a vision flashed through my mind. My father, younger, kneeling in the same room. My mother, very much alive, weeping as she held a stillborn baby me. My father frantically sewing, stitching something from wax and hair and things I couldn't identify. Placing a tiny beating heart inside a porcelain chest. My first cry echoing through the room. I dropped Amelia, my hands trembling. The doll righted herself, her head still twisted backward. "You understand now," she whispered. "Father made me to replace the daughter he lost, but I was lonely, so I helped him make you." I looked at my own hands, wondering what they were made of. "That's not true." "Then why don't you bleed, Eleanor?" she asked. "Why don't you age? Why has no one in this town spoken to you in 20 years?" I fled the room, my mind reeling, but her words haunted me. I found a pin and pricked my finger. No blood came out, just a clear, viscous fluid. I looked in the mirror, really looked. I hadn't aged since I was 20. The townspeople always crossed the street to avoid me. I thought it was because of my father's reputation. Now I understood. They knew. They all knew. Over the next week, Amelia worked tirelessly. Each morning, I'd find another doll completed. Not just my mother, but my grandparents, aunts, uncles, an entire porcelain family tree filling the rooms. And they were becoming more active. I'd find them rearranged in different positions each morning, sometimes having tea in the parlor, sometimes staring out windows. Once, I found them all seated around the dining table, a place set for me at the head. The family dinner, Amelia explained from the chandelier where she was perched. "You've been neglecting us, sister." I started having dreams or memories, I wasn't sure which, of a childhood spent in this house, never leaving, never going to school, never having friends. Of my father talking to the dolls more than he talked to me, of the dolls talking back. One night, I was woken by singing, a nursery rhyme I hadn't heard since childhood. I followed the sound to the nursery, a room I didn't remember ever using. All the dolls were there, arranged in a circle, and in the center, Amelia was stitching something new, something larger. A doll that looked like my father. I finally broke into my father's study, a room I'd avoided since his death. In his desk, I found his journal. The entries told a story far darker than I could have imagined. October 3rd, 1985. My dear Catherine died today, taking our unborn child with her. I cannot bear this loss. November 17th, 1985. The ritual worked. Using Catherine's hair and the child's preserved ... tissue, I have created Amelia. She lives, she breathes. January 12th, 1986. Amelia is lonely. She asks for a sister, but I cannot. I will not use another's remains. There must be another way. March 3rd, 1986, success. Using wax, porcelain, and a piece of my own soul, I have created Eleanor. She is perfect. But the cost? I feel parts of myself missing. The dolls whisper that they want them back. The final entry was dated the day he died. They are coming for me tonight. The dolls say it's time to reconstitute the original. They need my body to complete the family. Amelia promises I will live again in doll form. I'm so afraid. I drop the journal, my porcelain hands clattering on the hardwood floor. I was made from my father's soul, and the dolls. They wanted the rest of him. They wanted all of us together forever. That night, the house came alive. I heard them moving through the walls, tiny porcelain feet clicking against the wooden beams, whispers in multiple voices, all familiar, all family. Eleanor, my mother's doll, called from the hallway. "Come join us, darling." "Don't be lonely," my grandfather's doll added. Amelia appeared at my bedroom door, holding the nearly completed doll of my father. "It's time," she said. "The family must be whole." I backed away, but the door slammed shut behind me. The windows sealed themselves. I was trapped. The dolls filed into the room, forming a circle around me. They began to sing the nursery rhyme again, their painted mouths moving in unison. Amelia approached, holding a needle and thread. "Don't worry, sister. This won't hurt. Father made sure we can't feel pain." I looked at the doll of my father, its face eerily similar to the man I remembered. Its eyes opened, glassy but aware. "Eleanor," it whispered in my father's voice. "I'm so sorry." As Amelia raised the needle, something in me snapped. I might be made of porcelain and wax, but I had my father's soul inside me, and he was a creator, not a destroyer. I grabbed the needle from her. "No," I said, my voice stronger than I expected. "This ends now." The dolls froze, their song cutting off abruptly. "You're right," I told Amelia. "The family should be together, but not like this." I knelt and began to unstitch my father's doll, not destroying it, but repurposing it, taking the porcelain, the wax, the bit of soul contained within. "What are you doing?" Amelia cried, her painted smile finally faltering. "Making us a real family," I said. I worked through the night, the dolls watching in silent fascination. I didn't sew skin or stitch porcelain. I used what my father had taught me, the real magic, not the dark rituals he had descended into. When dawn broke, I had created something new, not a doll, but a portal. A window to a place where we could all exist as we were meant to be. One by one, the dolls stepped through the portal. As they crossed, they transformed, my mother young and alive again, my grandfather healthy, my father whole. They waved to me before disappearing into a beautiful garden I had created from memory and magic. Only Amelia remained. "Aren't you coming?" she asked. I shook my head. "Someone needs to stay and close the door," she nodded, understanding. Before stepping through, she hugged me, a real warm hug, not porcelain against porcelain. "I'm sorry for everything," she whispered. "Me too," I said. After she disappeared, I closed the portal. The house was empty now, just a normal old Victorian filled with normal, inanimate dolls. I sometimes wonder if I made the right choice. I could have joined them, whatever they've become. But this is my world, my life, even if it's not entirely real. The townspeople still cross the street when they see me. I still don't bleed when I'm cut. But now I understand why. This morning, I found myself at the sewing machine. I wasn't sewing dolls. I was sewing a new future for myself. One stitch at a time. And sometimes, late at night, I hear a familiar music box melody from the room that used to be the nursery. When I check, there's nothing there. Just the echo of a family that was and might still be in some other place. The dollmaker's daughter has work to do.